And we're live. Welcome back to the Flannel Panel, everybody. We got some fancy shirts on today. Look at this. Not
Yeah,
just
buddy.
the flannel, but we're rocking some Cancer Sucks Wamigo Whiskey Syndicate shirts for a
The
special
Team
someone.
Conklin gear today.
Yeah, for a special someone. And
Yeah,
not
that's,
only that, it is
4th.
May the 4th.
That's
so
right. Yeah,
it does
that's right.
fit. It does fit.
Yep, it's Star Wars Day / Cinco de Mayo Eve. So there's a lot of things happening all at the same time.
There it
So
is.
whether it's you like it nerdy or you like it spicy, we've got you covered.
That is true. Well, what's going on, guys? It's been a week. Like literally, it's been a week since we last did this.
It's true. I
Yeah.
hung out with Troy and
busy
drank
week.
last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's I watched you. That's
Bar night
right.
at home.
On Bar Night at Home.
Yeah.
How did
Pulling
that go?
double duty this week.
Yeah.
Troy is YouTube MF this week, or YouTube AF. He's a YouTube MF, but he's YouTube AF as well.
That's true.
And one time we were doing both of these while the 12 days was going on, so it was a busy.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things. Yeah, I thought that was good, man. It's been a while since I did one of those. I was telling Troy before the show started that I forgot how you get kind of like nose blind after a while on the samples, and people are like, "This is what I'm smelling," and I'm like, "I just smell whiskey at this point."
Yeah.
So I have to reset stuff and move glasses around and all that good stuff to make it go. So yeah, it was cool. It was a lot of fun.
That's great.
High five to our brother Clint, who brought like an absolute hitter to throw in there, man. Like a 15-year-old Knob Creek Fairview pick. That was crazy. So
yeah, it was a good one.
Clint's got a lot more serious.
Clint got a lot more serious. Is that what you said?
Yeah, he was taking a beating for several seasons, sitting in lower proof stuff. But I think he doesn't care what he likes. He just wants to win.
Gotcha. Yeah.
He's competitive now. He's like got labels on his custom labels on his sample bottles, like all the things. He's got a swag now.
Yeah.
So it's good to go.
And magnets. It's awesome.
He's a serious competitor.
For sure. This is a little reminiscent here. This was the Whiskey Weekend Batch 4 Cup.
Yeah, buddy.
The B104 Corey's radio station.
Yeah, the NASCAR sticker.
Yeah.
That's probably makes the whiskey taste better.
100%. It tastes faster anyway.
Drink faster.
And at Whiskey Weekend, that's a key.
That's a key. How fast can you get to the next one? For sure. Go ahead, Troy.
No, I'm sorry. I just said sometimes it gets to be too fast. You got one poured and somebody offers you another one and you just and you throw it back and fill it up again.
JT is guilty as charged.
Yeah, he's an enabler.
For sure.
Usually.
What are you guys drinking tonight?
I have a PPR, but I got to find a whiskey. I haven't figured out what I want to drink yet.
I've gotten into bad habit. This rare breed rye has been sitting on
my good though
desk here, so every time I'm on here, I just sip on it. It's about gone.
Was that the one at Whiskey Weekend Batch 4?
I think so. I didn't get drank there.
I got to try that. That was the first time I got to try that rare breed rye. It's fantastic.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, we got some Tommy D saying, "Why hello, fuzzy flannel dudes." Tommy D's always got someone, and DC's drinking some A122.
Nice.
Now is that Larceny or Elijah Craig?
Better be Elijah Craig.
Yeah, I think Larceny's has the same kind of labeling system.
I think they do.
I believe so.
So can I be that guy about the Larceny barrel proof?
Sure.
Totally overrated.
You know what? We did that pour your own, and the Larceny was pretty good for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Heaven Hill. Yeah.
Somebody JJ got one. I think one of my buddies got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that deal at
well played, DC. Well
Heaven
played.
Hill was super cool. But I thought that I got the Elijah Craig barrel proof because it was 66.6%. So I mean, I'm your Huckleberry, right? I'm gonna pick that anyway. But I actually thought the Bernheim was the best pour.
I didn't care for the Bernheim.
Yeah,
it's too soft. But at whatever cast strength that was, but I grabbed the ECBP because I think Ty and I wrote what was it, 66.56% or something, because it didn't match, like what
It
the
didn't.
proof was and what the percent was didn't match.
Yeah.
So it was fun. That was a fun time.
Yeah.
And Tommy D's drinking some 8-year-old Dickel bourbon. I haven't tried any of that stuff. Is it any good? The Dickel
not
bourbon?
had it.
I don't have any.
Yeah. Jason got the Bernheim as well. He did pick that. It was fun. That was a good time. So what are you drinking, Corey?
So I snagged the Templeton 10-year.
Cool.
It's not. It's 10-year MGP.
Yeah.
But rye, right? Templeton's rye.
Yeah. It's got a fancy
how
new
that-
bottle now.
That's got to be good, though. 10 years.
Yeah, it's real good.
Mm-hmm. I thought about going tequila tonight, but that's definitely happening tomorrow.
Ooh, so tequila leads to time travel for me, where I'm like, who went to Taco Bell last night? And they're like, you asked us to go to Taco Bell last night. I'm like, oh, right, right. And I'm assuming we didn't drive anywhere. They're like, nope, your car is still downtown. I'm like, oh, well, I probably should have to go rescue that. Okay, good. I'm piecing things together now. What else did we do that I don't remember?
That's funny. Oh, Jason's at work tonight, so he couldn't make it on the panel, but
he could have just lied and said he had it on. We can't see him.
Yeah, we wouldn't have known, dude. You should have been like, whoa, ununbelievable coincidence. I too have my cancer
Team
sucks
Conklin.
Team Conklin shirt on.
Yeah, and you had a fun weekend with Mr. Conklin.
Yeah, so Eric got a chance to have a drink. Like he had to ask his doctor. So to get clearance, right? He was in a break in chemo and he was just going back this week for new chemo, but it had been long enough that he was like, hey, is it possible that I could sneak in a drink with my buddies? Because I haven't been able to have one with them since before Thanksgiving.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a real long time. So his doctor was like, you can have one. So then he was like very specific about it. It's like, okay, so one drink, meaning like 1.5 ounces of liquor, right? And he's like, right. I was like, cool. It's like, well, then we'll just pour you little bits of several things that add up.
Really?
That way he could taste some stuff.
That's cool. Yeah. So what did he get to try?
So we opened a 2018 Old Forester birthday bourbon that I had that was unopened, that he was like, that's one of the things he said he always wanted to try. And I was like, well, it's been sitting there. We could have opened it any time. But for that, what seemed appropriate. Cool. I was ready to open everything I had in the whole place, man. It was just like, whatever. If it's in the building, like, let's open it all. Let's go. So, but yeah, it was really cool. So he had a little bit of that. He had a tiny bit of George T. Stagg that I still have left. And then I think he poured a tiny bit of the, like the last thing he had was barely just a taste, just to get a taste, but it was that Willet Metallica blackened combo. So he loves Willet Rye, So because that's an older rye that's the base of that, he really wanted to try that one. So it was really cool.
Awesome.
Really cool.
You know, you talk about drinking just little pours like that. The last time I was drinking with JJ, he stumbled into that. He was about ready for bed. He kept saying, I'm getting my second one. I'm just going to have one more little one. So he kept pouring like 1/4 ounce pours. So he just did that for the next 3 hours. He said that was the key to his success. You just need little pours.
Good call.
Just kind of tiptoed along. Just he's got to the top of the bell curve and just kind of try to keep it there, as opposed to just go ahead and just rocketing back down on the other side, which is
so every 7 minutes he'd have another 1/4 ounce or whatever it was. Yeah. Just one more little one, he kept saying. I'm just gonna have one more.
If you do that with a little water, you'd probably be right.
Yeah.
And going back to Big Dave, I don't think he flies like that. He doesn't do 1/4 ounce pours.
No, this was JJ.
Yeah.
Dave, he drinks 1/4 bottles.
Yeah. He's like, we're cashing this bottle tonight. Let's go. I love it.
Let's go.
Tommy D, how does one get this shirt? Corey?
I might have to do a second run of them at some point. I think there's probably some people locally that still try to get them. So it's really cool. So we did the shirts just as going to be a little bit of a one-off for the Whiskey Club. Like I thought that we'd sell like maybe 25 of them. Like there's 12 of us in the group. So I thought maybe a few family members, whatever. And then people that work with Eric's wife over at a local bank, they all bought in on them. Like a bunch of people from town got in on them. All the dudes from the pyro crew, Eric's part of the pyro crew, the fireworks crew here, they all wanted them. So then some of you guys have had a beverage or two with Eric via Zoom. So I threw that over podcasters group, but people that like have never met Eric in their life signed up to buy them. So we sold like 230 something shirts, which was bonkers. So, but we get a price break depending on how many shirts were sold. So I priced them to sell like 25, and then we sold like 230 or whatever. So it brought the price down enough that they actually, Custom Ink actually cut me back a check for the overage, and the overage was what we donated to Eric and Sherilyn, and they've been using that for travel expenses to go back and forth to Kansas City for his chemo treatments because they have to stay in hotels every once in a while and pay for gas. It's so crazy expensive. So we got all the shirts done, and we were able to cut them a check for almost $1,000 for travel expenses.
That's amazing.
So, that's incredible. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, we just wanted some silly shirts to wear in a picture to send to him. That was the starting goal.
That's awesome. So, we should do a flannel panel sponsored one.
Ooh, yeah, there we go. We could do a flannel inspired design to send over to Brother E. I'm sure he'd love it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me if there's another run, I'll make sure you know for sure. That'd be great.
It was cool to see him at Whiskey Weekend. There were people wearing them at Whiskey Weekend, which I thought was super slick. So.
And I think Jason noticed Big Nate's whiskey reviewer, Nate. I forget. I don't know how to say his last name. Waddell or something like that was at Whiskey Weekend Batch 4.
Yep.
And he's got one on one of his reviews, so that's awesome.
Yeah, he's wearing it. Dustin Peter was wearing one last night.
Yeah.
There's pictures from Whiskey Weekend. Casey Bright's got one on. Like there's all kinds of folks that were rolling around with those things. That it was really super cool. So yeah. Pretty inspiring. You talk about bourbon community. That was for real bourbon community.
That's just it. It shows the community, right? Like, and even like Tommy D's like, let me know I'm in. I want one. Like, I just love the people jumping in to help people and have fun. And also, it's the perfect Star Wars Day shirt.
Yeah,
because cancer does suck, and it looks like Star Wars. My wife's like, "Are you wearing a Star Wars shirt?" I'm like, "No, sort of."
I do want to redo the shirt because like I do the graphic design stuff for all of our whiskey gear, right? And stickers and all that stuff. So it was a major designer faux pas. Like I thought of it after I'd sent off the shirt. I should have put "Never Tell Me the Odds" on the back, which is the Han Solo quote for navigating the asteroid field. And I was like, son of a bitch. How did I not think of that as what to put on the back of a Star Wars themed cancer suck shirt? So maybe we need version 2.
I think so.
And then it has to say "Never Tell Me the Odds" on it. So I just love that.
Yeah, I'm 100%. That's awesome.
Yeah. And we'll sell so many of them, we will get a cease and desist from Disney and Lucasfilm.
Yeah,
for
got
sure.
too big.
Yeah, it got too popular.
There's so many, and I'm sure all y'all are on Instagram. There's so many Instagram guys doing that Disney figurines with the whiskey pours and all that stuff, and it's all over the place now. And that's another one. I don't know if you know Scotch Trooper, I believe it was. Scotch Trooper, who also had cancer and ended up passing. So, big communities that definitely honor special people. So, yeah, it's cool.
Version 2. I just need to make it. It'll be. There's nothing but time.
So Hoopy's down for it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Hoopy will be the first order in. He usually is.
Yeah, that was a cool guy to meet because I was on a Zoom call with you guys and Stag Jr. was involved.
Yeah,
and there was some
probably got a little hazy there towards
funky
the
hats and meeting him at Whiskey Weekend. I'm like, you're a little tame right now. What's happening? Like the last time I saw you, had it was fun. But
Hoop
great guys.
Hoop is a like he's a wind up dude. Like he's it? Get the pregame going, and then it's like it's just like the slow takeoff. But yeah, he's pretty good when we go fishing. He's a good dude at like the maintain, kind of like what Troy's talking about. He's good at the maintain, where he's just like managed to be there. That's for a long time all the way. Yeah, it's a
solid guy. What again, great community. Community. All right, so Star Wars. I've realized more so in the last few years that I'm more of a Star Wars nerd than I thought. And I'm not a nerd in the sense I know everything and have seen everything, but I'm a big fan. I'm a big Star Wars fan. But are you guys Star Wars fan, or do you have a favorite Star Wars movie or character or anything like that?
Empire Strikes Back and Boba Fett.
For sure. Boba Fett's your favorite character?
Wow.
Yeah, it was always kind of awkward. I mean, Han Solo is actually my favorite character, but
I can see that for you.
But Boba Fett was always fascinating, and he's a bad guy. But yeah, so the first movie I remember seeing in the theater when I was a kid is Empire Strikes Back, and I think I was 4 in 1980. But I vividly remember going. I remember going in the summertime to go see Return of the Jedi at the movie theater in the mall in Wichita, Kansas. So like that's my earliest movie memories are actually going to see those films in the theater. And then it was kind of cool to so when I was in college is when they did all the prequels, right?
Yeah.
First they did the re-releases where they put them back in the theater, and then they did the prequels, and then I went to go see the current run of movies with my kids. So it's been a lot of Star Wars for a long time.
Yeah. I followed the first 3 when I was a kid, but I missed most of the prequels until after they started making the latest ones, and I kind of went back and got all caught up. But have you guys watched Boba Fett and the newer Disney series?
Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett are both great. I'm excited for the new Obi-Wan Kenobi 6-part series. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, Obi-Wan's my favorite character. I love Obi-Wan, and I would say I'm a prequel fan more than most.
Yeah,
I love the storyline, and I'm a huge Natalie Portman fan, so I'm sure that helps.
Hey-o.
But Queen Amidala was definitely good from my childhood.
Vivid memories of the scene where they're fighting in the Coliseum, and the midriff is
exactly. Yeah. But yeah, Obi-Wan's my favorite, so I'm stoked for the Obi-Wan.
So this is this. Not to get, we're super nerdy already, so why not? So this 6-part series is what I thought the original prequels should have been. Like the most interesting part of the story to me is after Anakin turns into Darth Vader. Spoiler alert, Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader. Holy shit. But like the hideout point of like him trying to being one of the last Jedis to survive and like quietly protecting Luke Skywalker. I thought that there should have been that in the prequels. We should have skipped over a lot of the pod racing 8-year-old Anakin Skywalker and got more to the meaty part of the story. So I think this should be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Tommy D, what's the actor?
He hates Chewie.
Yeah, he hates Billy D. Williams. Lando Calrissian. So he probably doesn't like Jar Jar Binks.
That could be it.
Or doesn't like Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. Some people didn't like Hayden Christensen. The middle movie was rough.
Yeah. The guy who played older. Yeah, so Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen. Yeah.
That's it. A lot of people didn't like it. I didn't mind him at all. I didn't mind him. But have you watched any of the animated stuff? I feel like we need to have Whiskey Mune on for this because
he would be the dude. Yeah,
he'd be
parts
all
of
over
it.
this.
So I started watching it with my kids. So and then my older son got bored with it. So now I've restarted it with my younger son.
That needs to finish this.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, I'm trying to make it through some stuff here. Like somebody has to watch this with me. It can't be just me watching cartoons in the living room, right? Because then
I don't know. I've been doing that a lot.
I think maybe it can't be worse than me getting up at like 6:30 in the morning to watch soccer / Premier League football. Like that's pretty nerdy too. So it's like whatever. I might as well just be watching cartoons.
Yeah, I don't know. It probably is worse. It's childish. But I've been a big fan of the animated stuff. I never really got into any of those series until the Mandalorian came out. Then I started really diving into that, and they're really good stuff.
Clone Wars is good. Like the Clone Wars.
The Bad Bunch, the Clone Wars. Tommy D saying that, and Cody Breeding says he likes the pod racing. I didn't mind it. I thought it was a little slow, right? That whole meaty chlorine count and all that stuff, but I agree. And the Jar Jar factor was a little whatever, but yeah. So, and if you've been following the chat, Jason's just going off on his sister. Apparently, they had a sibling rivalry, and he's still not happy about it.
What's she? Oh,
where is it?
Oh, he had.
And he also said he's hopped up on Monster Energy and Adderall. Probably not good to be in front of the camera.
He said he had a Return of the Jedi movie poster that he loved, and his sister tore it down.
That's a whole side of Jason I've never seen before.
Yeah.
At least don't make him angry.
Yeah, he's like
we've
the
never
Hulk.
seen Jason angry.
You can hold on to a grudge.
And if he's been holding that in for 40 years, like you don't let it out now. Like that's
catastrophic.
That's probably a serious problem. Yeah. I tried to get my hands on a Revenge of the Jedi poster. They originally called it Revenge of the Jedi, and actually sent movie posters to theaters, and then went, "Oh, hey, by the way, revenge isn't a Jedi trait, so we're going to call it Return of the Jedi."
Okay.
So they were super rare. But yeah, I had tried to like buddy with the guy that owned the theater here in Manhattan forever, and I thought I was dangerously close to purchasing it. And then he found out how much that they were selling for. It's kind of like, you got the guy that's almost sells you the bottle of Pappy, and then only comes to find it's like, oh, people get like $4,000 for this. Suddenly your $1,000 offer seems stupid. So it was very much in that vein. So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, the thumbnail is non-sweat sports. So I think, Troy, did you throw this one out?
Well, I probably messed it up. I put it on a story instead of, I don't even know what it's called. What's the two? I put it on a story instead of a post, so I don't know if anybody saw it. So
on the Instagram.
I still don't fully understand the Instagram. So
you're doing well, man. You're doing well. I'm impressed. Jason's got a question still, just last Star Wars thing. What's your favorite Star Wars toy or action figure?
I still have it. It's original Boba Fett. I put it on my Instagram today. He was standing next to a bottle of Booker's, so I said Booker's a Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So,
boy, we used to have. I had an X-wing, and then I can't remember what the stormtrooper ships were called, and then had one of those Land Rover, or not Land Rover, the Land Cruiser. What were they called? The
Sandcrawler, the Jawa Sandcrawler.
Well, like the car thing that they like Luke
Land Speeder.
Land Speeder, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the stormtrooper one you're thinking of is a TIE Fighter.
Yeah,
TIE Fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the Millennium Falcon that made takeoff noises, like it was a battery powered thing. That was pretty cool. I got it for Christmas.
Yeah. So when I get to Galaxy's Edge or whatever it is, I want to do a lightsaber. I think
I want to go. I'm slightly concerned that if I go with my kids, they're going to try to figure out why Dad is crying, which is unfortunate.
Something in my eye.
Yeah, there must be onions and everything at the concession stand. Yeah, that's it. That's definitely it.
Mm-hmm. So non-sweat sports, are they even sports?
No.
We have a few listed.
No. Yes.
The Tommy D's in here. I'm glad he is, because is golf a sport? Let's start with that one. Is golf a sport?
Golf's a game. It might be a sport. I don't know, man. Like it begins, has halftime, and it ends at a bar. Like there's a lot of drinking.
Is halftime the actual game?
Yeah,
like it begins with drinking. Then the game happens.
There's drinking, and then there's like people that drive around a cart and bring you beer. Like, is it sporty?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, no one even walks anymore. You drive in a little electric car. Like how?
Yeah, I walk. I think it's a sport. I want to think it's a sport because of the athletic part of it, right? Like the hand-eye coordination.
But then if that's a sport, so is bowling.
That was the next question. Is bowling a sport?
No, because you can drink beer and burn a heater while doing it. So
you tell those guys in the bowling alley that bowling is not a sport.
That's the same reason I think that golf is a sport. Like if you can smoke a cigar while doing it at a high level, probably not a sport.
I used to call bowling the poor man's golf. It was just kind of a lower budget.
Right, it
doesn't require a country club.
Right, need a ball.
You just need one ball and it comes back to you. You can't lose it.
Yeah.
This
will probably not go over, but the one I considered not a sport was always like NASCAR drivers, or like NASCAR
Oh, I think that would be incredibly difficult. I think that's way harder than golf.
Yeah.
But they're not pushing the car. They're just driving it. I mean, I could drive.
Sure. Yeah, I think it would get like super hot in the car for
Yeah, man.
5
Apparently,
hours.
it's super taxing to be in that car and do all that stuff. So I know it's just sitting, but
Yeah,
I'd say that's
Well, I'm
more
sure
strenuous. I'd say that's more strenuous than golf and bowling.
I think
probably
so.
is.
Yeah.
It's all more sporting than all esports, but there'll be people that probably challenge on that, be like, well, that's mentally and physically taxing. And I was like, my 8-year-old does it in the living room, so I don't think that that's super taxing. But
esports is an interesting thing too, because
so it's competitive. There's a difference between being a competition to me and being some sort of, like, I consider it like a sport, like
physical
athletic pursuit,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, and if you're saying non-sweat sports, like, you're not sweating when you're bowling. Come on. Unless you're a big guy, but
All
that's
right.
different.
Zach Jones throws yes, bowling is a sport, so he's offsetting.
He's about a 250 handicap, I'm guessing.
He's burning a heater. He says, but NASCAR drivers are sitting down, so you're onto something there. And then Tommy D, golf is a sport. Bowling is very difficult, making sure the ball goes down the lane and not in the crowd.
Not into the crowd. Wow. I think that you're describing golf right there, actually. At least the one I played.
I've never played in front of a crowd. That would be
bowling in front of a crowd or golf?
No, golf in front of a crowd. I'm not that good.
Listen, there's nothing worse than a tournament is if you get assigned hole number 1.
Yeah.
Like as the start of a scramble when there's a whole bunch of people still there, and I'm like, listen.
Okay, Jason bringing a good point to this. So does a sport require exertion or a focused skill that requires time and competition to master? And I would lead into a couple other ones like archery or clays and shooting sports. Like, are those sports, or are they, what do you think about that?
I used to argue if it was in the Olympics, you could call it a sport.
So is it, are we debating whether it's a sport or like, is it the idea of like the best non-sweat sport, which means like these are the sports that you don't get sweaty at that we think are good? Because in that case, I'm like, golf is then a good non-sweat sport.
Yeah. Well, man, I don't know. Like, it depends on the heat, but I'll sweat my balls off playing golf.
You sweat your balls off mowing the yard in the summertime, but that doesn't make it a sport. I'm
sweating still. Like, we're talking about non-sweat. If it's non-sweat at all, then it's playing darts or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm
Darts.
going to just call fishing is not a sport.
Fishing is not a sport.
There are fishing competitions.
So Zach Jones is fishing a sport. I don't know.
It's a skill. I think there are competitions. I don't know if it's a sport. I don't know. So it's all going to depend on like everything that you think is like something that you enjoy. You're like, holy shit, that's a sport. But if it's something you don't like to do, you're like, not a sport.
Jason says it is the way I do it. So
darts. Listen, are people running with the board? Like, I don't have.
Now that would be fun.
Yeah.
It's like,
I got to draw the line. If you can do it while holding a drink, I don't think that's a sport.
Yeah.
Or is it a challenge?
You can throw darts while
like
you still have.
You don't have to hold my beer. I'm going to do this anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, is chess then a sport? Like, it takes a lot of time to master and a mental exertion.
But like, physical exertion?
No.
So Zachary Jones said cornhole, and that was going to be my question too.
That's a perfect example right there.
Yeah.
Cornhole's a game.
Cornhole's a game, or is it a sport? Because you're throwing stuff. Is baseball a sport? You don't sweat there.
Yeah, I think baseball's a sport.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, you sweat just as much as you do playing golf.
You sweat less. Because golf, you're constantly moving. Baseball, you're sitting there with Gatorade.
You have to actually run the bases in baseball. Like, you don't get to get
I don't know if you play golf like I do. You have to run to your ball all the time.
Like, that would be crazy.
So maybe once a game you have to run to a base. That's a sport for sure.
So I'll put it this way. If you're good at baseball, you get sweaty. If you're not good at baseball, maybe
well,
not.
If you're really good, you may not get sweaty at all.
Yeah, if the pitcher's really great, you don't do anything.
Yeah.
Paintball. Jesus.
Oh.
Interesting.
Paintball and airsoft, that's getting geeky too, isn't it?
Yeah.
The airsoft stuff. Have you seen some of that? That's kind of neat. So cornhole. It's a game, you think? Because our buddy Eric from Bar Night at Home has been playing bags, or I think he calls it bags.
It's more. Cornhole's way funnier.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like taking the best part of the game away right there.
I agree.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't expect that from him. Like,
yeah, it's all about the name that makes your wife uncomfortable. Like that's half the fun.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think cornhole is like the perfect example of like our thumbnail, just a non-sweat sport, or whatever you want to call it. That's the kind of thing I had in mind, even golfing and fishing. But
so the thumbnail, I tried to find a fun cornhole thing that I could put people's faces on. Didn't happen. Right. And then I was like, oh, men with brooms, because is curling a sport? Because I don't know, you can do that with a drink in your hand.
It seems hard. You got a broom the whole time, or whatever. You got to sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say in the Olympics it looks sporty.
Beer pong, and Tommy D's nailed it. Going from the East Tower to the West Tower is definitely a sport during Whiskey Weekend at the Golf House.
Especially if the elevator's not working and you have to go down like 23 flights of stairs to do it. That was sporting.
Mm-hmm. Beer pong.
No, if beer is in the name, I don't think it's a sport. I think it's a
it takes accuracy and skill.
Yeah, I'm not saying that if I'm saying not a sport, I don't think I'm saying it doesn't require a skill. And there aren't.
I'm learning a lot about Zachary Jones tonight.
Yeah, I like it. Zach sounds like it'd be fun at a bar. Like I'm positive that Zach is like he's the king of the bar. He's like the dude that you want to hang out with on the patio at a bar. Or in a parking lot before a football game. Like that seems like Zach's maybe home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Tailgate champion.
So which of those non-sweat game sports do you lean towards?
Well, we play cornhole a lot. I'm not the best at it, but have you ever played Can Jam? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Sounds like
it's not far from cornhole. Only you use a frisbee and you've got two little plastic trash cans.
I have played it.
Okay, yep. we that seems popular around here.
So there's another version of that where you have like it's like a PVC post that you put in the ground. You put like a beer bottle on top of it.
Yeah, we have that too.
On top, and you throw the frisbee and you try to whack the post, and the beer bottle falls off, and you're supposed to try to catch the frisbee before it hits that's a thing too. I got pissed at that last time we played it at some friend's house because it seemed to be an unusual amount of rules, and for a game that was pretty much like, "Hey, don't drop your beer." I was like, "Well, I'll be playing that an hour from now anyway." So like, let's. I think we're okay here, but
I'm gonna totally agree with Tommy D. Golf is awesome. One of my favorite things to do, and he's throwing horseshoes out there. That's another one we haven't. That's kind of along the cornhole line.
Yeah, that's cornhole. That's an old man cornhole. Yeah. I don't mind. I get it. Horseshoes. So I think golf is kind of like the perfect. Yeah, there you go. I tailgate with Zach. I think he seems like
there's a fun Saturday
whipping up some hot dogs on the grill.
Yeah. Golf is a ton of fun. Like I don't play enough anymore. I play pretty much exclusively like scramble tournaments a couple times. We do play a nighttime golf tournament. That's its own different challenge level because of the it's like a LED light up ball, not the ones with the old school ones had like a glow stick in them. These have like a LED light in them.
How do you find the hole?
They put like an LED stick as the flag stick. So yeah, the trick is actually driving the cart after it's really dark and possibly overserved because there's
bunkers and things.
Well, it's just hard for them to enforce that whole "don't bring your own drinks" rule on the course once it's dark. You know what I mean? So it's tends to get a little squirrely.
That's it. Jason, finally. Yeah, there we go. How do you find the hole?
Oh,
well
done. How did I miss that?
Troy? I was like, Troy.
I was just really in the conversation.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out night golf. It was very specific.
Yeah,
that was fun. It's only 9 holes. Thank God. 18. I don't think we would have lived last time. It was
I did find out the hard way that you can't. I may have told this story already. I just talked about this the other day. you can't drink straight whiskey while like being in a golf scramble, because once it's too late, there's no recovery. Like the 7th hole, when you're drunk, you're not going to come back from that.
Never.
No.
I found it out the hard way.
No, scramble golf tournament is a strictly beer endeavor. Otherwise, you just can't pace it.
Yeah. I filled up a big old Yeti full of straight whiskey, and I had some ice in it. And I got a little carried away, and I wasn't much help on the back.
You forget that it's like 5 hours to play a scramble golf tournament. It's not a short amount of time. Like it's half a day.
Yeah.
It would be like starting to drink whiskey at 7 and ending at midnight. And most of the time you'd be like, ooh, we're going to be pretty loaded. Like that's where you'd think. But
in the heat and
hot outside,
walking around somewhat with the cart and walking around trying
to
swing
the ball that involves all this walking.
Well, I don't think Ian takes a cart. He's in Canada. The only carts they have up there are the ones you pull behind you. You got to pull it.
I see. Is this an attempt to save money? Is it because gas is so much more expensive in Canada that they don't allow you to have the golf cart?
Don't you want to walk? Like
no.
I walk from the parking lot to the clubhouse.
Yeah. I don't. So I only even walk to the little clubhouse once. Like I don't even get my clubs out of the car. I go check in and get my golf cart and then drive the golf cart.
That's why Tommy D and I think are on the same page here. That's why you don't care about golf as much as you should. If you walked it, you'd appreciate it a lot more. Maybe get a Gatorade start instead of a Yeti full of whiskey. But
I don't know. I think I've got my golf game pretty well dialed in.
I do remember walking 18 carrying my bag. And I remember coming up the 18th. I thought that was probably the last time I was ever going to do that. You know,
I played golf in high school and you had to carry your bag the whole time and it sucked.
Yeah. So depending on the weather in Colorado and up here. So right now everything's swampy. So you're not taking a cart off the cart path. So there's a lot of 90-degree rules and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's the same here.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I don't do much bowling. I never did much bowling. Bowling is a thing that happens like once every great while. And then I forget that I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of fun.
Troy, are you a bowler?
No, I'm terrible at bowling. If I can break 100, I'm feeling good about things. You know what I mean? I'm not very good.
I thought there was a bowler in the group. I forget who it was though.
I did go do that pins bowling a while back where it's just, at a bar, you got like a little 20-foot lane with the little miniature balls. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
How many pins is there?
There's only like 7 pins. And I think I didn't even understand the scoring that you actually can get 3 throws per turn. So you can still get a strike or a spare, but if it takes you all 3 throws to get all 7 pins down, it doesn't count as a spare. It's just 7. You know what I mean? So you got 2 balls to get your mark.
Yeah. Jason's the bowler. That's who it was.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We like to play a lot of cards.
Yeah.
That's how we kill our time with my buddies. So it's just a lot of card playing, which is not, again, that's a game or it's a competition. It's certainly not sport, but that's the time killer.
I like darts. I like shooting sports, so archery or target shooting, whatever. I've actually went hunting for the first time over the weekend. So I've had my hunting license forever. I just don't have anywhere to go. My buddy's like, hey, come, let's go turkey hunting. So I was like, okay, let's go. It's 5 a.m. first thing in the morning. It was fun, a cool experience. We didn't get anything, but we had a couple toms walk up beside our blind, and then there was a real live hen instead of the decoys that stole them away. I think the real thing's a lot more enticing than the fake decoys out there.
Yeah, I felt that a couple times myself.
Did you? I think you have a story. I think you have a story you have to tell us.
No.
What are the decoys? And yikes!
Yeah, the old bait and switch.
Yep, Thailand's a hell of a place. So
Hong Kong.
So I like to shoot. I don't go hunting very often, if ever.
Yeah.
And the one hunting experience was walking a field pheasant hunting, and I was the idiot that like one flew up way too close to me, and I shot it anyway because I was excited to shoot something, and it couldn't have been 8 feet in front of me. So It was a direct hit and it vaporized.
So
it was like, well,
Yeah.
that was
Good shot.
good trip, boys. That was, yeah, exactly. They're like, you might want to, if you have any intention of eating any of this stuff, Reeves, you might want to let the birds be a little further away from you than that. It's like, good tip. Good tip, boys. Appreciate that. That's good. I think I'll just stick to the coffee and walking around. So
yeah,
I do enjoy like shooting clays and stuff. I haven't done a lot of it, but
yeah.
I seem to be pretty decent at it for the few times I did go, but I don't get a chance to do it very often.
Yeah. My trouble is I do like drinking with my friends, and you can't do that for shooting sports. Like
No,
you have to wait till after. So like we
Yeah.
have to make a very shooting stuff requires a very regimented schedule. Like, all right, so this is what we're gonna do. So it's a whole lot more fun to go parking lot, cornhole, whatever adventures, or that. It looks like two tennis balls connected, and you like
Ladder.
like ladder games, like all of that stuff. Like I'm in for all of that. Let's go for all that stuff.
What about bocce ball? You ever play bocce ball?
Yep. What was into that for a little bit?
Yeah.
A couple summers, that was like the game of choice on vacation.
Yeah. Do you know what that is, Corey?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
It's just you toss like the weighted ball around the yard. I don't know what it is, but I know.
Well, you throw the white ball out, and then you get the closest to the white ball, and you can throw a spin on it and block it.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like that one.
You guys play wiffle ball as an adult for fun?
Not as an adult, we played a lot as kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got asked to play wiffle ball for at like a 4th of July party a few years ago. Dude, that was an insane amount of fun as an adult, just because everybody can throw some pretty wicked junk at this point. And that was the trash talking went way up. So yeah. that was a blast. That was a lot of fun.
Tommy D with the truth here.
There's a little bit during COVID, you'd have to throw the gun at someone, Tommy. Be like, hey, who can throw the gun the closest to the target? That's going to be what we do because ammo does not exist.
Yeah, and Cody wants to get into the range with his brother. You should definitely do it. It's fun. It's good. Yeah, I think darts would probably be my number one, though. I really like darts. I got into it 10, 15 years ago, pretty heavy, and was throwing pretty well, but haven't played in a while. And then Ty got me back into it. So we've been playing on this app. It's like a cricket app. So you play against the CPU. So I'll play against the CPU and post my best score and show Ty, and then we'll go back and forth and see you can be the best player against the computer essentially. But yeah, it's been fun.
So do you have your own darts?
Yeah.
You're like the
few different
fancy custom darts and all that stuff.
Few different pairs of darts, or sets of darts.
Do they like so many grams, or how do they do that? Do they come to?
Yeah, I like a 22 to 24 gram dart with
that's a sweet spot.
Yeah, that's my favorite. And then I like a shorter shaft.
Come
on. And I like dimpled flights, just if anybody really cares about darts at all. So
there's a lot of.
Are you good enough to Ted Lasso somebody to hustle somebody in darts?
No. That's impressive, but
you can't like look away from the board and be like barbecue sauce.
Not yet. I'm working on it.
All right, fair enough.
I'm pretty sure there's some heavy camera work in that scene.
What?
Yeah, I know he's your hero. But
yeah. I like Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, he's good.
He not to get totally off, but why not? So
why not?
He served his former fiance with custody papers while she was on stage.
I heard this
like at basically a Comic-Con kind of thing, a movie thing. And he said, of course, that he didn't know that it was the other company that did it. But I was like, that was the most non-cool, non-Ted Lasso shit ever, right? Like to totally embarrass and roast somebody in public. I was like, what the hell, Ted Lasso? Get it together, man.
Yeah. Well, like, was it actually him?
No, it wasn't. It was like a lawyer or something like that did it. Jason said he's a 26 gram guy. You guys got to quit throwing what number of grams you're looking for in the chat. This is going to trigger a bunch of different warnings.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Yeah. All right. So the segment that we've been trying to name for a while, I think we've nailed it. Just the tip.
Oh, that's perfect.
Is that what it is? Just the tip. So basically every week we might what's new, what we got going on that's new, or something that you've seen or watched or been into, maybe not been into, but we'll see. And what's been on your mind lately? So do you guys have anything for the just the tip segment of the show?
So just the tips.
We got to work this out. This is
here. Hold on. There you go.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
So if there's just today, actually, that's a pretty good one. If you like Metallica, so they're putting out the Rye the Lightning, which is their limited edition rye, which is fine. Whether or not you buy into the whole Metallica as sound aging shit or whatever, that's between you and Lars Ulrich. But they're putting out the playlist that they played the rye, and it's Ride the Lightning, but it's from a live show that they did in 2012. So there was a Ryan festival, and they're kind of famous for it because that was one of the only time that they've ever played Ride the Lightning in its entirety. But to be weird, they played it in reverse order. So it starts with Call of Cthulhu and then works their way backwards. So it's actually pretty cool. But if you go to Metallica Blackened right now and look at the page for the rye, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can actually get a download of that show for free. But there's like 20,000 people or something like that.
Wow.
So pretty cool. I already did that today. So that was there's your pro tip for
nice.
To get a live recording of a 2012 Metallica show. That's a pretty rare show. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Troy, you got anything?
Well, I just wanted to plug the Bar Night Crew was back live last night. So if you have not seen that yet, we talked about it quick at the beginning, but Corey was on and totally rocked it. But so check us out there. And I was wanting to announce that my buddies here in Ohio, that we call ourselves the Knights at the Round Table, are getting together with the Bar Night guys, and we're doing a new riff rye pick. So that was kind of a new thing. It just came out. There was a lottery involved. And we didn't originally get selected, but somebody couldn't make it, so we got in. So we're going to be doing that in July. So if anybody wants a bottle of rye, hit me up because we're going to have a whole barrel.
Yes, I do. Yeah, that's awesome. So you go down and do the pick there and all that stuff.
Yep. I think you're allowed to. It's a little different than the first year we went, but you're allowed to take 8 people, and I don't know, they wheel out 4 or 5 barrels, and you get to pick your winner.
That's awesome.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good experience down there. I mean, I've not done a lot of picks, but they make it pretty nice, so it's good. So we're excited about that. We're picking towards the end of July.
That's great. So will that be cast strength, the rye that you get?
Cast strength. This is the first time they've done the cast strength. Well, any rye picks, but the cast strength rye pick.
Wow.
So I'm hoping it'll be kind of new. So hopefully you won't be seeing a lot of them. So it should be kind of a limited thing.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cody.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you guys more details once I know when we're going to have the bottles. But like I say, it's hard. Usually it's just 3 of us. It's hard for 3 guys to consume
host a barrel
180 bottles or whatever it is. So we have a few more now. So that'll help.
Definitely. That'd be great. I'm excited for you to do that. And I'm excited to see what you pick. That's going to be awesome.
So I have a margarita tip for tomorrow for Cinco de Mayo. It's a little bit short notice for turnaround for tomorrow. But if you really want to impress your friends, put lavender syrup in your margaritas because it turns it kind of a purple color. And if you add that last on the top, it kind of drips its way through it. And then once you stir it, it kind of makes a cool effect. But lavender syrup doesn't change up the taste of the margarita very much, but it looks cool as shit. And people think you're like a really badass bartender when you do stuff like that. So I'm a big fan for simple things that don't really change your drink that much, but people go, woo, when they see it. And lavender syrup is a pretty good trick for a margarita.
That's like a pro, just the tip.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yes.
Pro tip. Pro, just the tip. Yeah. And I'll jump into that tequila factor. If you're looking for a decent, semi-affordable tequila, the Casamigos, George Clooney, whatever that one is, Casamigos, is it the Reposado or however you say it? That one's a solid tequila. I really like it. The Rocks, not so much.
Terramana.
Yeah,
Terramania.
I was hoping it was going to be good because he said it was, but I didn't.
And I know it's not Terramania.
Yeah.
It's just funny because it seems like WrestleMania. So
It'd be way
I'm calling
better.
it Terramania, and then all the clerks try to correct me, and I'm like, I'm just trying to be funny over
That's
here.
funny.
Just give me a break.
Yeah. But the Casamigos, I like it and it's you can find it everywhere. It's not like somewhat hard to find.
And I could be wrong on tequila, and I usually am, but Reposado, is that because it's barrel aged, correct?
Yeah.
It's not just goes direct from being done like Blanco is just like unaged, is just tequila.
Yeah. And Reposado's like the lesser aged of the aged ones, and then the Añejo or whatever that is I think it's 18 months plus is Añejo. So
we did a tour on our cruise of Jose Cuervo. It wasn't a plant or a distillery. It was a Jose Cuervo experience, which is just code for we're gonna drink tequila today. So we did that, but they told us, like the tour guide told us, that the biggest scam in all of tequila is any tequila that's called gold, because whatever gold is just the leftover bits of all the bottoms of all the tanks, and it just kind of comes out a medium gold color. So it's just the tank leftovers. So Jose Cuervo Gold is literally the tail ends of all the tanks. And for some reason, the gringos thought that gold was fancy. So they're buying the leftover shit from the bottoms of all the tanks.
So I don't drink tequila, but if I buy tequila, I want the clear stuff or silver or whatever they call it.
Oh, really?
No, is that true? Is that what you're saying? Is that the opposite of gold?
Yeah, silver's just like unaged. It's like clear. Yeah, it's just
So the one Tommy D threw up here, I totally forgot about. If it's the same one, the Maestro Doble or whatever tequila, it's in like a tall, thin bottle. I guess it's an aged tequila that they take the color out or something like that, and it was some. Like whatever the master distiller would be in whiskey, it would be that guy. I think it was Jose Cuervo, or one of the main brands, kind of left and did this one. And if it's the same one he's talking about, it is fantastic. It's the smoothest, like best tequila that I've tried in the decent price point again. So that's a cool one. It's also a really nice bottle. It's like a black and silver label. I like it a lot. So very true.
So, the fancy one is, I think I'm going to say it wrong, Clase Azul is like
the white and blue.
White and blue.
Yeah.
So it's super expensive. It's really good, but it's expensive. The top of it's a bell. I didn't know that. Like if you shake it, it's actually a bell.
Yeah. Yeah. So what got me? This is why I wasn't sure what he was after, because his last name is also that. I thought I wasn't sure if it was play, but that tequila is great. Though what got me into tequila was 1942, the Don Julio 1942, the tall skinny triangle bottle.
That's really good.
Yeah, I was at a bar with I was doing a work thing, and the guy's like, tequila shots? And I'm like, sure. So he's like, what's your best tequila? And this was years ago, and it was that. So he pours it out, and all these people are shooting it and struggling. I'm like, this is don't shoot that. Just pour it in here. I'll get you something else to shoot. Like, stop. This is good. That was really good. So that got me into a bit of tequila, but anything cheap is garbage. So
yeah. So I will say that it's certainly not true with bourbon anymore, that the more expensive the bourbon is, the better it is, right? Like that, there's certainly a staggering number of exceptions to that rule at this point in bourbon and whiskey. I tend to find it significantly more true with tequila. Like 100%. Cheap tequila is typically really bad, and premium tequila is usually pretty freaking good, right? Like, so like, I think if you find a $200 bottle of tequila, you're going to think it's worth $200, and you can certainly buy $200 bourbon that is garbage.
Yeah. Speaking of $200 bourbon, Confiscated is $189 Canadian here right now. It just showed up, but $189 for Confiscated.
It wasn't worth when it was over $100 here.
I know. Yeah.
Too bad.
It is.
But if you're looking for that Irish blend, that's still available.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
St. Patty's Day.
St. Patrick's Day blend. Speaking of,
I did just find a bottle of Kentucky Owl Rye Batch 3 last weekend or 2 weekends ago for like retail, so I was excited about that.
Did you buy it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hell
And then
yeah.
it was funny. I bought it. I was all excited, and then we went to another store, and they had it too. This was in New York, so evidently they're everywhere up there.
Yeah.
Rye
And the
3's
second place
fantastic.
was even like $5 cheaper, but I didn't pop for another one.
That's well bought. If you found Rye 3 at retail, that's a great bottle.
That's really good. Yeah. I liked all the ryes. I liked all the ryes a lot. But
Yeah,
I'm starting to get confused and forget which was Dixon's last. Like the rye did he do 4 ryes and then what 9 bourbons?
10.
10 bourbons.
10.
Bourbon
I
10
couldn't remember if 10 was him or not. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 bourbons. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting excited to see what he's going to be throwing out. Like he's posting all these.
Yeah, there's your other tip that
Yeah.
Dixon keeps posting all these
Exactly.
like, tasting stuff photos online. I'm like,
yeah, I'm
I think
excited to see what that is.
The way he was talking, that should be soon here, sometime this year, I think.
Yeah. Well, that was our just the tip segment.
I like it.
We'll have to workshop that a little bit.
We got people tequila. We got a fancy drink. We know that there's a rye pit coming out. We gave them the scoop on an exclusive Metallica download. There was good information.
There was good tips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're professionals.
I love it. I love it. So I think on that note, I hope you guys have a great May the 4th be with you. You can catch Corey at CD Reeves on Instagram. He's doing his paintings. Also at B104.7.
Yeah.
What's the website there?
B1047.com.
There we go.
Yeah, early in the morning. Recovery time tomorrow.
Troy's been killing it on the Flannel Panel Instagram. Check that out. Yeah. He's going to be posting all his cornhole pics later.
That'll sound right.
Yeah. And until and keep your eyes peeled for that Cancer Sucks Part 2.
Yeah, I need to make that
because I think that needs to happen. I think
that does need to happen.
I'd love to see that. So keep your eyes peeled. And until next week, stay buttoned up.
Yep, and keep your cornhole pictures on OnlyFans.